What are the only agencies worth uploading to these days? In this video, I'll share my experience uploading at all the agencies I've tried over the years, which ones performed well for me, which were a waste of time, and where I think you should be focusing your efforts today. And if you're uploading generative AI images or videos, I'll note which ones are currently accepting AI files as of this recording. So here's a look at the agencies I either started uploading to way back in 2008 or added and tried out along the way. I'm going to take them one by one to share my experiences at each one. We'll start out with Shutterstock. It was the big earner for everyone back in the early days of Microstock, the 800-pound gorilla that back in the day accounted for 50, 60, 70% or more for just about everybody's earnings. Starting around 2016 or so, my earnings and those of many others began a slow and steady decline at Shutterstock, and today I earn about 20 or 30% of what I earned at Shutterstock's peak. Still, the amount I earn today monthly is between $500 and $1,000, so I'm continuing to upload there. It does not currently accept AI. Next, we have iStock, which is owned by Getty. This was another big leader in the early days of Microstock. It was either number 1, 2, or 3 for just about every contributor in those early days. But its submission system took a lot of time and effort to get through, and acceptance rates were just about the lowest around, at least for me, so I never grew a very large portfolio there. They also lowered commission rates several times over the years, and its lowest commissions, sometimes just pennies per download, have chased away a lot of contributors. So I've stopped uploading there. It does not currently take AI images or video. Fotolia is next on the list, and if you're not familiar with that name, it was bought and rebranded to AdobeStock in 2015. There's not much I need to say about them. I'm sure you know them well. They sold well for me back in the early days when they were Fotolia, and when Adobe bought them, my earnings kept growing, and it's the only agency I've contributed to over the years where my earnings have continued to grow nearly 16 years after I started. It's now the #1 agency for many people, including myself. And of course, it does accept AI files. Next, Dreamstime. This was one of my favorite agencies back in the early days of Microstock. I had healthy monthly earnings there, often a few $1,000s a month. But around 6 or 8 years ago, it started to nosedive. That decline, plus its time-consuming submission system, led me to stop uploading, though I maintain my account there, and earnings today hover in the $100 or $200 a month range. So I'm considering starting to upload there again, given the limited number of options that remain today. Dreamstime does accept AI files. Big Stock Photo. This one seemed promising with steady growth for me in my first few years of selling online, and then Shutterstock acquired it in 2009. Since then, Shutterstock doesn't seem to have invested much in it or pushed it heavily to customers, so it pretty much flatlined for me some time ago. Today, I earn a few $dozen a month, and it's simply not worth the time these days. Since it's owned by Shutterstock, no AI files are accepted. Stock Expert is a sad story. It was a great agency with solidly growing sales for me for a few years, and an owner who was great and really cared about contributors. And then in 2010, Getty bought it and closed it down. About $1,000 a month in earnings for me flew right out the window. Rest in peace, Stock Expert. Next, Microstock. It was a bottom feeder with questionable practices. I tried it out for a few years, saw a few earnings, and closed my account. It's still around, but in my opinion, not worth anyone's time. It's not clear to me if they accept AI, but don't bother. 123RF was another agency that showed a lot of promise for me right up until about 5 years ago, and then it tanked big time. I had reached monthly payouts of a few $1,000s a month, and now I'm lucky to see a few $dozen a month. It does accept AI files, but don't expect many sales. Deposit Photos is one that showed steady growth for me over the years and continues to give me a decent return of a few $100s a month. Even though my earnings peaked there a few years back, uploading is extremely easy and the income is somewhat steady and reliable. Deposit Photos currently doesn't accept AI images or videos. Canva is an interesting case. A relatively newer agency that offered buyers a unique ability to build their own images from elements provided by contributors. I uploaded a few thousand files there early on, going to great lengths to crop the backgrounds and save them as PNG files, since that made them attractive to customers who wanted to piece them together in their own collages. But this became a lot of work and my earnings stalled, so I stopped uploading at Canva. I don't believe they're accepting new contributors at this time, and as for AI, it advertises that it has AI built right into its site for users to create their own AI content. Next, Pond5. It has been considered one of the powerhouse agencies for selling videos, but even contributors who once did really well there have seen many of their earnings dry up. It's now owned by Shutterstock. I uploaded a few hundred videos there, but maybe I missed Pond5's heyday because I've never earned more than about $50 a month there and no longer upload. It does not accept AI files. Yay Images is a small upstart that never seemed to carve out much of a niche for itself in the world of agencies. I tried them out, had a small amount of sales, and ended up closing my account there. Not much else to say about them, but they do accept AI. FreePic is a site I recently tried, testing them out by sending just about 10 images. In the months that followed, I saw a few tiny sales that were laughable, and I immediately stopped. I just don't think they're worth the time, and their minuscule prices are just going to drive down prices at all the other agencies, so I don't encourage anyone to upload there, even though they do accept AI. Finally, we have Storyblocks. You've probably seen me talk about my experiences there in my other videos. I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with Storyblocks. I still submit there even though they drastically cut my earnings last year. I'm still hoping they reconsider how they calculate earnings for contributors, so I'll keep sending new files there for now. As for AI-generated videos, I tried to find what their policy is on AI and I couldn't locate one. If you know what it is, please let me know. So that's where all the agencies stand for me right now. Today, I'm just actively uploading to Shutterstock, AdobeStock, Deposit Photos, and Storyblocks. Dreams time, I might resume uploading, not quite sure. Where are you uploading? Did I leave off any of the agencies you think are worth the time? Please let me know in the comments. And until next time, I'll see you soon. Now, no one can guarantee how much money you can earn if you're starting out today. The truth is, it's much more competitive today than when I started, back in 2008, but I intend to teach you some of the most important things I learned so you can have a leg up on the competition. That's the goal of this course, to help you with my more than 15 years of experience, my trials and errors, to get you close to your goal as quickly as possible. One of the first golden rules I discovered when I began is this: don't wait to perfect your skills. Start today and learn as you go. Remember, the perfect is the enemy of the good. I didn't know much about photography, vector illustration, or 3D illustration when I started, but I taught myself enough to create my first uploads. To my surprise, they were immediately accepted and began selling. My skills slowly got better as I created and uploaded more and more, and I consider myself much better now than when I started 15 years ago. But I'm so glad that I didn't listen to the negative thoughts that said, you need to wait until you hone your skills perfectly. You have no right to try this yet. Well, I had every right to try it, and customers wanted what I created. Don't wait. Accept that it's a journey, but your first steps should start today. Here's a golden hack to build on that golden rule. Start simple. Don't aim for creating elaborate sets and hiring multiple models, and if you're still learning illustrations, try creating simpler, less detailed objects. One secret to Microstock is that simple objects, often isolated on a white background, or simple illustrated patterns, can sell really well. Now, the agencies have way more apples and other common objects isolated on white than they'll ever need, so you'll have to follow the steps I share in the coming sections to find objects and themes to focus on for these simple photos, illustrations, and videos. Just remember that you're not out to impress art critics or teachers with your technical skills. You're aiming to grab attention with images that customers need, and often a simple image or video can meet the need just as well as a complex one. This is still a principle I follow today. I always keep in mind the return on my investment of time and effort. Today, I don't put as much time into creating and uploading new work as I used to. That's the nice thing about having a large portfolio and a steady, established passive income stream. It doesn't take much work to maintain it. So I'm going to be arming you with the tools that help me succeed, making this the course to take if you don't just want to learn what stock photography is, but how to approach it like a business and get up and selling quickly. So let's get started.